I'm Black Bright, broadcasting out of the east of England into your homes, onto your phones, onto different platforms. Welcome to my channel. If you like what I talk about, put the thumbs up, put the thumbs down, subscribe, share, comment. Those are the main things. Sharing is really important because YouTube doesn't have time to share. And of course, if you don't share, people don't know, even subscribers don't even know I've put up something. So it is important to share so people know what's going on. Anyway, this is a light-hearted, it's pseudo light-hearted because I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday and we was talking about what we miss about going out. And I said to her that the other day I uploaded something on Facebook, and it was where people were dancing. It's where we had a big dinner. And I felt quite sad. You know, I felt quite emotional, I should say, because it's not just about going out. It was about what it meant to us, the build up to going out. And so I thought I would do a video on it and what it is. And the thing is, I mean, she was saying, oh, yeah, we're fine. You know, we can get by. It doesn't really matter. But, you know, the more you talk to people, the more you know that you're suppressing how you really feel, because it sounds stupid to say, oh, look, I miss going out for a dance. People will say, what is there in a dance? What is it that you miss when you're going out for a dance? But I wrote down a few notes and I kind of understand what it is for both men and women. And it's quite big. So, okay, it was the reason to make an effort at the end of a monotonous or boring week. So like you find European people or, you know, British people, they go down to the pub. That's their breakout. That's their reprieve. We went for our dances. That was our reprieve. You know, in the past, we've taken our weekends for granted. We've always assumed that, okay, I don't have to go out this week. I can go out next week, or I can go at the end of the month. And if you'd met somebody at a dance, you would assume that next time you go to that same place, you're going to meet them. Nobody thought about COVID. Nobody thought that in a flash, it would all stop. There'd be nowhere for us to go. Not that there isn't nowhere for us to go, and we can't go anyway. So nobody imagined that. All those promoters that had put out flyers, who had spent nights and nights putting flyers on cars, standing out in the cold outside clubs, giving out flyers to promote their event. And us, as people going to these places, the first thing we'd do is look at a flyer. Who's playing? Where are they playing? And depending on who's playing, you would mark it in your diary. If it was somebody you didn't recognise or somebody you didn't know, you'd leave it. And so it was a whole system. And we would plan our lives around that system, although we didn't know it was a system. So we'd be motivated to spend money to look good. You know, we'd spend money on our hair, whether it's wigs, whether it's going to the hair salon, whether it's doing something yourself. You'd do your makeup. Some of us would go and get our eyelashes done. I mean, since COVID, I've learned to put them on myself. It's not great. It's not as like when they do it professionally, but I can still do it. We have our nails done. I can't do that myself, but we'd have our nails done. We'd go for a pedicure. We'd be buying accessories, whether it's a belt, whether it's a bag, whether it's earrings. And we'd be getting perfume to make us smell nice. This was the build-up to the weekend, to the Rubadub. Men usually had something all ready to wear in their wardrobes, or they'd have something that one of their women bought them, so they didn't even have to buy anything like women did. We were always spending money. So why did we make such an effort? Well, the whole point of making an effort is because the majority of us wanted to find somebody who we fancied, and we hoped that we would meet somebody at dance. If we didn't have somebody already, that is. So most of the single people would go to the Rubadub. I'll call it the Rubadub for want of a better word. And we'd go there so we could meet someone. And it was the suspense of the evening. I mean, you'd be surprised how many thoughts go through individual people's heads. You've got, would we meet somebody we fancied? If we fancied them, would they fancy us? Would we be asked to dance? If we were asked to dance, would they be able to dance? I mean, being asked to dance is one thing, but you have some people who knock your knees and step on your toes and all sorts. Or they gyrate on you, or, and then dance nasty. And so there's lots of different dynamics going on and lots of different thoughts. And then if he can dance, would he have chat? Now, you can find people who can really dance and you think, great. They don't open up their mouth through the whole dance, them just there nuzzling your neck and you feel great. But as soon as they open up their mouth and it's some kind of brawling or some kind of aggressive or some kind of arrogance, it can turn you right off. And then there's a question of, okay, you've met somebody you like, them have chat, them can dance, they smell good, but are they layabouts? Are they on the dole? Are they drug? Are they just people who just smoke weed, or what are they doing? Do they have something to supplement or something that supports what they look like? Are they intelligent? Are they living at home with their mum or with their sister or whatever? Or are they independent, self-sufficient? Do they have their own place? Some people say those people who have their own place, you won't find them in a dance, which is a shame, really, because that is to presuppose that people who go to a dance are a certain type of people. But you can get all sorts in a dance. It's not just people. It's not just keggerig that go to a dance. You get doctors, you get nurses, you get all sorts. You get lawyers, you get administrators, you get tellers, you get people who operate the bingo. You get all sorts. So some people make an assumption that if you go to a dance, you're only going to meet a certain class of people. And so because of that, they would, these people who they claim, I wouldn't be going to no dance. You wouldn't find me at a dance. And they feel supercilious as though they're better than anybody else, very judgmental. Maybe those people shouldn't be at a dance. But anyway, you also have to ask yourself, okay, you've been dancing with a guy nearly all night and he can't even buy you a drink. And you're like, why isn't he buying me a drink? And some of them would go off and buy themselves a drink and come back with the one drink and come dance with you. You know what I mean? Well, you'll be silly to be dancing with him, but that's the thing. And yet, conversely, you'll have some guys who will be there and they'll see you with your friend or two friends and they'll say, look, I'd like to buy you a drink. What is your friend drinking? And your other friend. And they'll ask what all the friends are drinking. And they'll go up and buy the drink. And you kind of think, well, that guy, he's probably got himself together. And you do make an assumption based on that. That guy isn't mean. That guy is generous. That guy is a gentleman. Whereas the one who just wants to rub up with you and him go and get him one drink and then ready for come up and rub up on you again. And then can I even say, would you like me to get you something? All of these things, all of these dynamics are happening throughout the dance. People are thinking. Men are thinking. Women are thinking. Men are probably thinking, I wonder if she have a man. I wonder if she's here with her man. I wonder what type of woman she is. I wonder if she's ignorant. I wonder if she have her own yard. I wonder if she's working. I wonder if she have any pitney. I wonder how much pitney she have. I wonder if she's still in touch with her baby father. I wonder if she drive. You know what I mean? Sussing. People are sussing all the way through this night. This night where people are all dressed up and look as though they don't have a care in the world. People are thinking. They're thinking about their potential mate. And they're not doing it consciously. Well, they're doing it in a, it's kind of a subconscious, conscious way. So they don't realize that that's what they're doing half the time. But that is what they're doing. So, there's also the question, will this dance lead to anything? If I go out with this guy, will it lead to anything? Is he a player? Is he lying? You know, a lot of men, they lie at the beginning just to impress. So you have that to go to. Then you're wondering, if you're not a smoker, is he a smoker? Does he drink? And a man could be thinking the same thing. Does she smoke if he doesn't smoke? There's a lot of things that can turn you off in a split second at a dance. The two of you don't really know what it is, but you could pull a man to dance and you could be dancing with him, and the next thing you know, he's there chatting rubbish in your ears and you just get turned off and you walk off and he's like, what did I do? Or you could be dancing with a man and then him pull out a spliff and say, I'm going to go around the corner, I've got on this spliff, and you're like, oh, I don't really want a man who smokes a spliff. And then you just split. Likewise, a man could be chatting to a woman and she start cussing bad word, and you know what I mean? And he thinks, oh, well, she's not my type, and he disappears. There's reasons why the second dance doesn't happen, especially when you start talking. So what would men be feeling? They'll be feeling, well, they've got a choice. When they get ready and they put on their clothes or their garms, they're out there thinking, yes, I'm going to have a choice tonight. How much woman out there. Too much woman more than man, and all of a woman I go out there and we can get a woman and blah blah blah. And then they're wondering, okay, will he put a woman out there, but will I get somebody who's worthwhile, who's worth my attention? Will the woman validate him? Will the woman even want him, the one that he selects, the one that he wants? Will she want him? That's another question. Will they get rejected? Like the man, like I said, will she want him? But sometimes it's just a question of eye contact. He hasn't actually gone over to make that move to the woman yet. When he goes over to the woman, is she going to stick up her nose or say no thank you, or my feet are hurting, or I'm not dancing? All of those kind of things are going on. Then if single, they're probably thinking, am I going to meet somebody tonight? If coupled, are they looking for a side piece? Then they'll be wondering, if they do find a side piece, or if they do find a woman, is she genuine? Will feelings be reciprocated? So like I said, when you're thinking about missing a Rubadub dance, all of this is captivated in it. All of this is a part and parcel of one Rubadub dance, only that it's kind of sequential. It's like on a rolling, I don't even know, but it just rolls and rolls and rolls, and you have it like whether it's every week, you're going through these same emotions, these same thought processes, these same patterns, these same routines. Then what else is integral is who is the promoter. Like, if I see a flyer from Dan Rog, I'm going to think, this dance is probably going to be good. You see one from Gladdywax, nice little all-time style. Coxon, say, probably you're going to think, well, it's going to be a whole heap of dread down there. You know what I mean? All depends whether you want that kind of vibe. And then similarly, if you're out and about, depending on what area you live in, that will determine whether or not the dance is going to be nice. What else do we have? Okay, so we got the promoters. They're putting the flyers on the cars, handing out, advertising on the radio, using social media to promote. We have Papa George. He tends to put on this glamour, elegance and glamour dance every year. And then you have the BT dance. I mean, there's lots of events, and even the BT dance. I mean, I went there once. It's not my cup of tea, but people swear by it. They literally swear by it. They spend the whole year planning for this BT dance, which happens, I think, it's around November, December. But it's not my cup of tea. But I went there once and I thought I'll never go there again. But that's just my taste. Then you've got music. Okay, I've said music is integral. Who's playing what sound system? This is what determines whether or not which rave people are going to go to. So I put down here Fat Man, that's guaranteed. Pack. Rodigan, pack. Coxon, like I said, might be packed, but it's going to be packed to a certain type, the roots clientele. Then, like I said, Gladdy Works, you've got Redman, you've got Chicken, you've got too much, really, DJs. But all I'm trying to say is that there's a certain type of DJ and a certain type of sound system that will draw a crowd. And that is what people are looking for. They're looking for that sound system because they guarantee that it's going to be packed. If it's packed, you've got more choices. You're more likely to find somebody and you're more likely to get a dance. That's what's happening, you know. So some people drive all 2-3 hours for a good session, you know. So you have the location. Does the location really matter? It only matters in the sense that, okay, if you're going to Royal Lounge, you know which is in Wembley, you know you're going to dress up. If you're going to go to the Tottenham Leisure Centre, you dress down. Stuff like that. Some people still dress up because they feel as though they're going out, but it's not really a place where you dress up unless it's a birthday or a specific event, maybe like New Year's or something like that. And some clubs like Apollo, before it closed down, didn't even need an advertisement. People travelled from Birmingham, Manchester, Nottingham, South London, all over to come to Apollo in Willesden. And it was guaranteed pack. It's like sardines. And the funny thing is that, you know, every time I went there, because that used to be my little haunt since I was like a teenager, I used to go there up until last year. It closed down. But it was just like, it was such, you know, the vibe was guaranteed. It was like Lovers Rock, but it was really, you know, like the Mighty Diamonds. I mean, you wouldn't really get Chronics. You wouldn't get Gappy Ranks, that kind of music. It would be pure, like Slim Smith. It would be the Mighty Diamonds. It would be Gregory Isaacs, Dennis Brown, all of those guaranteed. And so you knew you was going to get a particular vibe when you went there. And at the end of the night, you know, some clubs, you'd have your Otis Redding, your Percy Sledge, Al Green, Barry White, Freddie Jackson. And if those tracks didn't clinch a dance at the end of the night, well, I don't know what to say. But I hope this gives you an idea about what it is we miss about raving and why so many people will be looking forward to that rave again, where they can hug people, hold people, be close in close proximity to people. And to, like I said in my book, Lovers Rock More Than a Dance Floor, I do go into this, but not in such a deep level. But yeah, you know, we go out, we're dancing with strangers, and these strangers make you feel good. They make you feel special, both male and female. A man, if he meets a woman and she's good looking, and he feels as though he's going to feel like the bee's knees, especially when she says yes to his dance. He feels like the bee's knees. And then haul her up and him feel good. Same with like the women. The women, if they buck up and a man look good, I mean, they don't have to know them, but the way they hold them and make them feel, they're endorsing them, they're validating them, and they're making them feel special. And that is what Rubadub does for so many of us. And that's all for now. Bye-bye.